Hey, Tom. Is your mic on?
How about that one? Better?
Yeah. I can hear
There
you.
we go. Sorry about that.
No, it's okay. It's okay. So, how you doing, Tom?
I'm all right, man. Just busy. It's just always busy all the time, but it's good. How about you?
Yeah. I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah, things are doing all right.
Yeah.
Good. How's the channel doing?
Not bad.
It's
Just
slow right now. It's the off season,
yeah. It's
so
tough.
it's
Yeah. So,
everybody's out enjoying summer.
oh yeah. So yeah, the first question is, you're in New York City, right?
Yeah, I'm about 45 minutes outside New York City.
So, how did you become a Packers fan?
Yeah, that's one of the common questions I get because it doesn't really make sense. I actually have a sign that hangs up across my desk that Lambeau Field is 1,000 and change miles away from me. So
Okay.
what happened was when I was 6 years old, I wasn't even really watching NFL football at that time. But when I was about 6 years old, I my dad's a Cowboys fan.
Oh
He's a,
yeah.
a diehard Cowboys fan, and
Oh
we're
yeah.
out in New York. And like, you can't really like the Cowboys in New York because there's Giants fans there. That should also just be for life. You shouldn't like the Cowboys. But what wound up happening was when I was 6, my dad just kept trying to make me a Cowboys fan. He like bought me like a Cowboys jacket and like all this stuff, and it just had no interest to me.
Okay.
So it was when I was 6 and went to school, I heard the Packers just beat the pants off of the Dallas Cowboys, like 45-17. So I just heard some kids talking about it, and I really like, I knew what football was, but I really wasn't into it at that point. So I literally just like went back home and I was like, "Hey dad, like I'm a Packers fan now. Heard they beat the Cowboys pretty bad." And I
Oh,
just stayed like that for 27 years.
oh man. So yeah, so how did your dad feel about that?
Well, it took a bit at first, but like since then it's been good. We've gone a game together. We went to the Des No Catch game, so that
Oh,
was really fun.
that was.
And I mean, the playoff games have been great. So I think I made the right decision considering what the Packers keep doing to the Cowboys.
You are absolutely correct. So yeah, so you started this YouTube back in 2015.
Yeah, I think I might have put like a random stand-up video out in 2014, but yeah, like me actually making stuff was 2015.
So what made you post like reaction videos to the Packers stuff like that?
Yeah, so it started because of the Seahawks NFC Championship game. So, as you know, I thought we were going to the Super Bowl, right?
Oh
And
yeah, I thought yeah,
that
me
was
too.
rough. And what wound up happening was after that game, I was in New York City at the time, and I
Okay.
took like the most quiet 45-minute train ride home because I was just in
Ooh.
stunned silence.
Oh,
And I got home and I was just like, I don't even know what to do. Like, that was so catastrophically bad. And it was not until like a couple days later, like on a Tuesday, that I had like 2 days to think about it. And I was like, if I wasn't a Packers fan, this would be comical with how many things went wrong, from the onside kick to the 2-point conversion to the fake field goal attempt, right? And it's just all of these
yeah.
things. And I was like, it would actually be cathartic and also kind of funny to sit and just react and like go through all the things that were wrong. And so I sat on my couch and I did that. And even though it was 2 days later, it got like 60,000 views. And there was just Packers fans who were reaching out to me. They were like, "Hey, this is like the first time I felt better in 2 days, like because of this, of just like
Okay.
shared misery together." And that gave me the idea for Patcast, of just talking to other fans and starting a podcast. And while all of that was not on YouTube right away, the reactions and stuff like that were
Yeah.
back in like then 2016. I started putting all the stuff on YouTube, and it
Okay.
just doing that for years.
Man, and it paid off.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, this is it'll be it's 9 years, so it's
and
long
you
time, my friend.
and you're one of the biggest Packer YouTubers out there.
It's pretty crazy. I just started because I like talking about my team.
Yeah, that's great. So, do you have any advice to smaller YouTubers? What should we do?
Yeah.
How do we get views and stuff like that?
Yeah, no, I mean it's a litany of things. And like I will say too, there's the algorithms changed, right? Like YouTube as a whole has changed. So like if you asked me, a year and a half, 2 years ago, I'd have been like, you got to start uploading shorts because
Yeah.
shorts were like crushing it and YouTube were pushing it nonstop, right? But
Hmm.
um the number one thing is consistency, right? So
Yeah.
I've done Friday night Q&A.
Oh
Oh
yeah.
boy, like pretty much every Friday for I don't know, so like 6-7 years, something like it's been a while. I've streamed every Packers game since 2018. I've streamed every primetime game the past couple of years. Streamed every playoff game the past 3 or 4 years, and it's just consistency and because you love it. Now, there's things that you could do that will help, right? So like having a good thumbnail, like having that stuff will get people to click on it. But the way
Yeah.
that I did it was I knew that my equipment, back in the day was not great because I built my own lighting system. I had my first soundboard and my first mic, which weren't the best. They were solid.
Hmm.
And I just had no money to put into the channel. So like I didn't know how to edit. I didn't know how to make thumbnails. So I taught myself, the basics and what I could do. And from there, I was like, okay, I know I can't be the best right now just because I'm not the best. Like the equipment's not the best. So I'm going to try to at least be the fastest. So when news happened, now this was difficult when I was at school teaching and I couldn't do that. Right. But whether there was the off season or whether it was, right after a game and I was staying up until 2 a.m., I would get out the video as quickly as I possibly could, without sacrificing the quality of it, but just go it like, okay, there's breaking news. I have a video within 30 minutes. Right.
Yeah.
And a lot of that is just I watch a ton of football. I read just about everything and then just having a pulse on the fan base. So I was doing it for speed, but I think it's consistency. It's consistently making good content, putting it out, and doing something different too. I mean, that has to be too. There's such an oversaturation, right? There was an oversaturation when I started because 2015 is not early YouTube, right?
Yeah.
So, there was already people in the game. So it was a matter of just, I did it because I loved it. I never did it for money. I still don't do it for money. And that kind of just like love of the game. And just, I've done this job for free for many, many years. I've had more years of not success than success.
Hmm.
So yeah, it's just keeping at it and doing it because you love it. And then just getting better and improving when you can.
Okay. You mentioned that you were a high school history teacher. Do you like that better, or do you like the YouTube thing better?
Yeah, so I loved teaching. I loved everything about teaching. I taught for 6 years. When I started teaching, it was after I got my master's degree. So when I started teaching in 2015, I also started YouTube in 2015.
Yeah.
So like and I started stand up. So they all happened literally like
Oh
at the
God.
same year because I could never just do one thing. So yeah, no, I love teaching, and teaching is something I'll always love. That last COVID year was really rough, just because I didn't know what 90% of my kids looked like. They were all seniors; they didn't have to turn their cameras on, the whole nine. So that was a little bit rough, but this is the job that like I am so in love with this job. I love it, man. Like I get to talk about like I work a lot, but I get to talk about one of my favorite things on this planet, and that's the Green Bay Packers, and that's football. And so yeah, I get to just make things. I like creating things. I get to do that and then talk about awesome things, and we use that platform for good stuff and raid smaller channels and raise money for charity. So yeah, man, it's the best job I've ever had.
And I just want to congratulate you raising over $1 million for charity.
I appreciate
That's
it. Yeah.
awesome. That,
It's pretty awesome, and it's just a testament to how great the people are in this community. They're so generous, they're so awesome, and that's why you don't do the sponsors, and that's why like I don't ask them for money, nothing like that. I'm not selling them anything. Anytime I'm asking for money, it's for charity. So yeah, no, it's that's been a really cool part of it, and that's something obviously I strongly believe in, but it's more of just the way that I told you before, like I don't do this for money,
Mhm.
right? So that's why I'm not like, hey guys, like here's this other way that I can make more. Let me sell you this product that I don't believe. That's just not me. So I'd rather us if I'm gonna have a ridiculous platform, then we gotta do something good with it.
Yeah, that's awesome. So, what is your next goal?
Yeah, so there's a lot of things. So next year will be 10 years, which is pretty
Yeah,
crazy.
man.
The draft is in Green Bay, which is going to be pretty crazy. But for me, there's two things. So we actually crossed off a major goal, which was to raise $1 million for
Yeah.
charity, right? So we did that 3 years.
Mhm.
Now, I would like to do it in a single campaign, meaning
Ooh,
for like, okay, in like one shot. So that could be a month long, could be season long, what have you. But definitely want to do that. And when I started this, I always left this spot here, my friend. If we ever got the gold play button, I literally left an empty spot on the
okay.
wall right there. So um we're gonna be trying. That's the next goal. We gotta get 1 million subs.
And you're almost there.
Yeah,
Actually,
we're closer than where we were 10 years ago.
yeah.
That's it.
So, I know you're a big football fan, but do you watch any other sports?
Yeah, I mean, so I played soccer as a kid, so I was really into soccer. I've been watching the
Okay.
Euros, which has been really
Yeah.
fun. I usually watch when there's like a major tournament and stuff, just because a little bit
Okay.
easier to follow. The past few years I've gotten into hockey. I like
Okay.
hockey. It's been so much fun learning about and just getting into. It's just such a cool sport. It's different, so I
Mhm.
really like it. And then basketball, the Bucks, of course, when
Of
we're
course. Yeah.
fortunately didn't win this year. But other than that, I love wrestling. I love every type of wrestling. So
Oh
that's
man.
the other one. Baseball I was into as a kid, but just not a ton anymore. So yeah, I mean it's mostly football all the time, but
Uh,
every now and then, especially during the off season, there's some other sports I can jump into.
so you say you're a wrestling fan also. So let me ask you: are you a AEW fan or a WWE fan?
Like I said, I love both. So the best part is like I had an opportunity. I took my dad to WrestleMania, which was
Yeah, I
crazy.
thought.
And then I was
Mhm.
just at AEW Forbidden Door because it
Yeah.
was in New York. So I was like, oh, I could go. So no, I think WWE does storylines and presentation like
Yeah.
no other. And I think AEW has some phenomenal wrestling. So I have never cared about, because like I watched WWE for a long, long time. And
Yeah.
a long, long time, it was a stale product. Like there were some rough years in there, my friend, of being a WWE fan. And when AEW came over, it was an alternative to WWE,
Yeah. It
and I
was.
loved wrestling. So yeah, like I hope AEW can like does well. I mean, I've watched every pay-per-view except one since Punk came back. So
Okay.
and the only one I missed was Forbidden Door. And it might have been one of the days I met you because I was during 30 and 30, which is why I met I
Oh.
missed Forbidden Door. So
Okay.
yeah, man, I just love wrestling. I love wrestling. I don't care where it comes from. It's just good.
So did you watch Money in the Bank last night?
I did.
Or
I did.
Saturday night?
Yeah, it was a pretty
So
solid show. It was definitely a solid show. And I mean, again, um, they have some great wrestlers too.
yeah.
Absolutely. It's just I don't know the type of wrestling that happens in AEW. I also like a lot. I think it's a different type. It's a little bit more faster paced. So
Yeah. It is.
yeah, like I mean, dude, like I'm watching Will Ospreay and Swerve.
Oh God.
I was like, man, like this is gold. Like this is you don't need storylines. You don't would it enhance it? Absolutely. But like you could just watch two wrestlers who are really, really good.
Oh
Just
yeah.
go.
Mhm.
I'm cool with that.
So let me ask you: what do you think about the Packers this coming season?
Yeah, I think right now, like I'm around like 10, 11 wins for the Packers. I think
Okay.
there's definitely some question marks. We've got to see, of course, how Jordan Love does in his second year, his second full year. And I'm really excited for the offense. I'm really excited for Josh Jacobs behind that offensive line. I think they'll be good. And of course, the development of the receivers. But the big question mark, of course, is the defense, right? Is Eric Stokes, is he healthy? Like, we got to see him play. You have a Jeff Hafley, brand new defensive coordinator, changing the scheme as well. Like, how is that going to look? Are there going to be some growing pains with that? So I just want to stop the run, please. Please just stop the run. So
me too.
Yeah, I mean, it's just Packers fans have been waiting for it forever, right? So I'm hoping Hafley's the guy. I've liked everything that he's said so far. So I'm just hoping that they're able to execute on the field. And yeah, I'm excited to watch him. I'm excited to see like if some players break out. Like, how does Quay Walker look under like a Jeff Hafley scheme? So I'm excited.
Of course. And the Chiefs are the Super Bowl champions, and they're the favorites again this year. Who do you think in the AFC can knock off the Chiefs?
Yeah, right. Because we all know the Chiefs are going to be in the playoffs.
Oh yeah.
I mean, they're just going to be there.
Yeah, of course.
And last year, right, they went on the road twice and they were able to get it done. That was the thing. It's like, oh, well, they're always at home. They're always at Arrowhead. Well, went on the road divisional, went on the road against the Ravens and smacked them. So that didn't work. So it's a matter. I think the problem is there's so much experience with that group with the Chiefs, right? You have the Andy Reids of the world, who's one of the greatest coaches of all time. You have Travis Kelce, who's one of the greatest tight ends of all time. Patrick Mahomes on his way to being one of the greatest QBs of all time. So you put those three things together, buddy. It's gonna be a time, right?
Yeah.
So I think that there are teams that can do it. Like, I don't know if it's the Bills this year. I mean, I think last year was kind of one of their best shots, but
it was.
I think the Ravens can do it if they don't stop running the football, which they just stopped for some reason. So Ravens, I think, could definitely do it. The Texans, I think, are a dark horse team that could potentially get it done. Yeah, Texans, I think, if young upstart team, never know. And then I think it's a team like the Bengals. They could potentially compete with them right now. And then the Jets, I don't know yet. It's just we don't know what the Jets look like. So I don't know about that. The defense I believe in, but I just don't know what their offense is going to look like.
Yeah, I don't like the Jets offense that much.
The AFC East is going to be very interesting this year.
Yes, it is. So, rank the NFC North teams. Yeah, it's a hard one.
See, here's the thing about the NFC North, too. Because, like, my ranking, I think the Vikings, there's a decent chance they finish last. I think they do.
I think that, too.
Sam Darnold, like, I think will be solid for them. I don't think he's going to be, like, abysmally bad. I just wouldn't start J.J. McCarthy because he just needs time to sit and learn, right?
Yeah.
The Bears, I think, will be improved. So I think that will be, right around, 7-8 wins, something like that. If Caleb Williams is good, because I think their defense definitely was better at the end of last year. If they got Sweat, their offense has some great pieces on it. We'll see how they do. I think it's a 1-game separation between the Lions and the Packers. And I think I'm leaning Packers. It's going to depend what they do with those games. It's just they walked into Detroit in Thanksgiving and just slapped the Lions in the mouth. And that's why I wanted the NFC Championship game rematch so bad. Because it's like, okay, here's the rubber match. Like, let's go. Whoever wins goes to the Super Bowl. But yeah, they'll be competing with the Lions this year for the division 100%.
And what do you think about the big contract possibly Jordan Love getting the
he's going to get paid. He's going to get paid. And rightfully so. I mean, here's the thing, right? You look at what the contract that Jared Goff got, right? I mean, like, Jared Goff has been good for the Lions. Like, that's not a knock on Jared Goff, but that's also the price of QBs now, and it's only going up. And now you have a young QB who, had one good year, and definitely flashed, but now it's time to pay up. Like, you have to. So I'm really excited. I think that they should give the money to Jordan. Someone asked me how much I thought it would be months ago. I was like 45, 50 million. That price is going up, my friend. That price is going up because all these other QBs getting in there, we're going to be looking at least $50 million.
Like, after Trevor Lawrence got paid.
I imagine there's going to be a lot of, like, incentives in there built in because there is a level of uncertainty, right? I don't think it's particularly high, but I think that there'll just be some incentives of like, hey, you win this many games, or like you have this passer rating or this many touchdowns, you win a Super Bowl, blah, 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 blah. Like, you get this much money.
Wow. So, talking about the offensive line, who do you think is going to be the 5 guys that does start on the offensive line? That's a hard one too.
Yeah, that's a difficult because it depends on who you ask, right? I mean, they really believe in Josh Myers, and I know fans are kind of like, I don't know about that. They're gonna put the best, but I'm assuming Myers is gonna be there. Jenkins is gonna be there. Zach Tom's gonna be there. It just depends on what they do at Morgan. I am assuming like they'll throw him on the inside for now. Rasheed Walker, who had Morgan and Walker maybe. Walker had a nice like stretch of the season though, where he played well. He was a good left tackle. So I mean, it's obviously Dave Bakhtiari left. It makes sense, but I mean, they believe enough in him. And I know that they think that Jordan can play all over the offensive line, but yeah, I think Rasheed Walker for right now, he should have some safety there.
But there are some rumors out there that the Packers are interested in bringing back David Bakhtiari.
Yeah,
with a smaller cap hit.
I gotta be honest. I don't know if that's happening because he's gonna. If he's first of all, his health is most important thing. Packers have all the experience with that, right?
Oh, yes, we do.
Yeah, that's one. 2, I would imagine it's for what, 2 years, like a 2-year deal, something like that. I'm not saying I don't know if that's where they spend their money because they spent big money on bringing in Xavier McKinney. While we're talking Super Bowl this year, and I think that there's definitely a possibility that they could go to the Super Bowl.
Oh, yeah, there is.
I think that they're going to want another year to be like, okay, like, yeah, like we're fielding a better team than we did last year. We addressed safety, right? We addressed running back. Like we addressed all these. We got more linebackers. We addressed the defensive coordinator. Like we addressed the defense as a whole. I think it's going to be, they're going to hold on to they're about to pay Jordan Love.
Oh, yeah.
They want it. They want to be as cheap as possible. I mean, there's a reason why, like, we're rocking with the same wide receivers we did last year, right? They're 32nd in terms of pay. Like, they are literally the cheapest wide receiver room, and they have a huge ceiling. So for the Packers, they're like, yeah, let's rock with this. And then let's just say, for example, they see like, okay, we lost because we didn't have another nose tackle, or we didn't have a guy to like stop the run. We need another linebacker, or maybe Eric Stokes. So we need another corner. I think that they'll kind of evaluate that after the season. So I just don't see them spending the money on Bakhtiari right this second, because I think he's going to be expensive and it's only going to be for a year or so.
Yeah, I think you're right on that too. But this year, who do you think is going to have a breakout year on the Packers?
On the offense, defense, or the whole Packers?
Offense and defense.
All right, let's see. Defense, I think it's Quay. I think Quay crushes it this year. He was our best middle linebacker last year. On the offense, oh man, that's tough. I want to say it's Wicks. I mean, he's just like dude, the route running is really good.
Oh, yeah.
If Watson is healthy, he could. If Watson's healthy, but yeah, I'll go with Wicks for right this second. I'm okay with that. I also think Josh Jacobs is going to do pretty darn well this year.
Oh yeah, behind the great offensive line, yeah.
Yeah, behind a better offensive line, at least a better run blocking offensive line than he had with the Raiders. Yeah.
All right, so the last question is, how do you see yourself in about another 5 or 10 years?
Oh God, I don't know what I'm doing. I do know what I'm doing next. I do know what I'm doing next week. Dude, I got the first 6 months of next year already booked. I'm like, what are we doing out here? That's a long time. So that's the thing. I mentioned it before. So I started in 2015. It took me 5 years to get to 100,000 subscribers.
Oh, really?
Right?
Wow.
And it took 5 years. And from 2016, I started putting some more stuff on YouTube. 2017, definitely. 2018, most definitely. I really started putting a lot more. And then I have not missed an upload date Monday through Friday since August of 2019. So it'll be 5 years that I have not missed an either upload, stream, or a short since then. So I want to get that streak. So that's what I want to do in 5 years. And then we're ending that streak. So like this success and this growth has literally just happened the last 3 years, but there were 6 years before that, right?
Of course, yeah.
Which is crazy. It's nuts. I mean, like that's why it's like all my old stuff is there. You know, you see me at a crappy desk, which is not this. It was a table. It was a
Yeah.
folding table, and the audio's not good. And yeah, so I don't know, man. I mean, I want to do a lot of things, and I have a lot of ideas for, you know, like major projects, like a 30 and 30 kind of thing. Yeah, but I mean, at the end of the day, I just hope that I'm still doing this, and yeah, we're helping people and getting people into the sport. And I don't know, man. There's lots of things I want to do. Like, I want to make a movie. Like, I want to do lots of things.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm just gonna continue to work, and it's just been insane to see what has happened. And I'm just gonna be along for the ride, and that's it. We're just gonna keep on working and see what happens.
I just want to thank you for helping me out with the channel. You know, you didn't have to do it, but you did it. So thank you so much.
Of course.
I appreciate it.
Of course, and keep crushing it, my dude. That's it.
And on that note, thank you so much for the interview.
Go Pack, go.
Yep. And I'll see you soon.
Let's go. See you soon, buddy.
See you later, Tom.
Appreciate you, buddy.
You too.
You have a great day.
You too.